Hey guys, this is Laurie from the Cynical Therapist, and this is the Afterthoughts for episode 3, and this is my husband, Jeff.
Hello.
I asked him to join because episode 3 was about couples conflict resolution and couples communication, so I was curious, because Elle and myself are both females, to get another perspective and to get my husband's perspective. I made a couple comments on the video about like our first fight, and so I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on that, and maybe your thoughts on doing therapy 3 months into months into our relationship.
It was pretty quick, pretty early on. I think I went into it with the same thinking that probably a lot of guys do, and that's if you got to go to therapy to fix a relationship, then move on to another relationship, because if I can't fix it myself, then, I'm not paying somebody else to do it. What do they know that I don't?
Know what's so random about that, though? I'm just curious. So if a part of your car breaks and you can't fix it yourself, do you not take it to a mechanic? You just get a new car?
Yeah, but that's different. You're right.
I just thought of that. I just thought of that when you were saying it.
You're 100% right. But and I think for me, once I do that math in my head, that you should treat your relationship like a car. Although maybe I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for that later. But that it's similar in that sense. That you're right. Like, that does make sense that you. Why wouldn't you pay somebody that makes your life easier, and so you don't have to figure out how to, do all that work and stuff like that. So,
what's your favorite part about therapy? I know that sounds weird. Like, what's your favorite part? Because it's hard to use the word favorite because it's hard. Marriage is
here's
work,
my favorite part,
work.
and for the guys that are watching, you're gonna love this. For the women that are watching, show this to your guys if you want them to go to therapy, because this is my favorite part of therapy, is when I'm having trouble communicating what I'm trying to say, and Laurie's not hearing it, and our therapist, Michelle, who is a saint, she is able to put into words that she's translating. Yeah. I'm speaking Spanish, Laurie's speaking French, and she can translate anything I say and tell Laurie, and Laurie gets it. And she's able to understand it and also say it in the tone that makes Laurie feel better about it and whatever, because maybe sometimes I'm harsh. I learned that this last week. So that's my favorite part. Yeah. For sure.
No, that's good. I like that.
And absolutely
that's good.
Right there in itself worth going to therapy.
Yep, that's totally what it's like. And it's funny how I don't think until we went, it's like, because I think as a therapist too, I was like, we can figure this out. Like, we'll just have to, like Elle and I were talking about using I statements, having empathy and compassion, all that stuff that we were talking about in the video. But it is hard to put it into practice. Like, even being a therapist, just having that third person, like, that is able to slow you both down, show you what's going on with non-judgment is I think super important. So I like that. That concept's really cool.
Yeah, and I feel like there's so many great things about being married to a therapist, and so many things that make it more difficult. I'll go into the great things right now, and that is that typically, if we have a big fight, the next day, once we've calmed down, Laurie's really good about, not just pointing the finger at me, but pointing the finger back at herself and saying, look, I need to own this. This is where I went wrong. This is what happened. Da, da, da. But when you're in that moment, when you're, I think you referenced the cycle.
Yeah, I did. The cycle.
When you're in that cycle, essentially when you're seeing red, you can't, it's so hard to control. And that's why it's so important that one or the other is able to de-escalate the situation and
like bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back. And that's so easier said than done. But
I think we've gotten better at it. I think. Yeah. I mean, there's times when we miss it, but we were missing it every time before. Yeah. And I think now it's gotten better. And as I said, and I think this is important to be said, as I said in the video, how much you fight or like how little you fight. It doesn't mean because you fight very little that you're better off than couples who disagree or fight more often. I mean, fights in general can just be draining, right? And that's why we're trying to work on preventing the disagreements and understanding one another better and all that. But it doesn't mean that your relationship is quote unquote bad if you have disagreements. Because two people could just be avoidant if they're not discussing anything or talking about anything. So I think, you know, that was something that we differed in, and that's what I talk about in the video. That like I was used to fighting, so it was kind of comfortable. But I don't know that you were, so I think that was a big difference. So we came from two very different worlds, and I think that's been, you know, it's like Romeo and Juliet.
Oh yes, very much so.
Or
so
like
romantic.
Cinderella and the Prince, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, who you calling Beast?
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to think of all the Disney movies or Pixar movies that are like, you know.
I do.
Like us. Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Are they a Disney movie? They should be. They should be a Disney movie. You heard it here first.
Yeah, no, they should. I agree.
Okay. Well,
Anything you say.
I'm glad you advocate therapy. Even if you didn't advocate therapy, I'd still want to know your thoughts, but I'm happy that you feel like it's going well. And
I do. No, I'm all for it. I went from thinking it was just for, you know, not. It's for everyone.
It's for everyone.
Yeah.
It is. Therapy's for everyone. Okay, guys. Well, those are our afterthoughts, and thank you for joining us.
Happy to do it.
Showing us your vulnerable heart.
She didn't give me a choice. She said, "We're doing this now, and you're in."
That's not true.
And I don't care what you want. I'm just kidding. That's not true.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys, and we will see you next week. Bye.